Today from Memphis, it's the 47th annual AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Brought to you in high definition by Phillips. We approach New Year's Eve in Memphis, the birth of rock and roll. And here come the champions of Conference USA, the Golden Hurricane of Tulsa. Their second bowl in 3 years, 8-4 on the year. Tulsa comes in today with a 3-game winning streak. So we head into 2006 with a matchup between Tulsa and the Bulldogs of Fresno State, which is seeking its 4th straight bowl win. Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. Along with the coach, Bill Curry, I'm Gary Bender. Bill, Tulsa started out 0-2. They've won 6 of their last 7 games. They're playing at a very high level. They're excited to be here.
Well, Garrett, Steve Cragthorpe is just one of the wonderful young coaches in America. To bring them this far is a remarkable coaching achievement.
Fresno State, on the other hand, is still trying to rebound from a very disappointing loss to the top-ranked team in the country, USC. And here they come, the Bulldogs, who have won 3 straight bowl games, their 7th consecutive bowl appearance. And as you go back to that loss to top-ranked USC on November 19th, it was one that they would like to have back. At halftime, they led 21-13. Late in the game, they still had the advantage in this affair. It would have been a shocker, the most anticipated game in Fresno State history. Look what was left. They still had the lead, and finally, USC won it 50-42. And, Bill, ever since then, they have really been in kind of a meltdown. They've lost their last 2 games. Pat Hill said, we got to get our personality back, our mojo back.
Yeah, Pat's after that mojo, and he believes that they've lost their confidence from that game somehow. And he also believes that confidence is a function of technique. He's been driving his squad during bowl preparation to improve their techniques. We'll find out today whether or not he was successful.
Bill, we have 2 excellent headliners today for Tulsa. All-American tight end Garrett Mills.
Garrett Mills is not your prototypical tight end. He runs like the wind. He has grace and feel. He understands football's angles such that 1,183 yards this year, the most ever by a tight end in one season receiving. We're going to watch Garrett Mills play football for a long, long time.
And Fresno State's headliners, quarterback Paul Pinegar. He's trying to become the first quarterback ever to win 4 straight bowl games.
And the reason he's got a chance to do that, Gary, is simply that his team respects him so much. They fight for him. And from a technical standpoint, he moves in the pocket so well, he makes something out of nothing because he feels bodies around him all the time.
All right, let's get this thing underway. 2 old whack foes, the Tulsa Golden Hurricane against the Fresno State Bulldogs. Welcome back to the Liberty Bowl. Fresno State, 2 of their 4 losses. The team's ranked in the top 5 now. With more on the Bulldogs, let's join Dave Ryan with Coach Pat Hill.
All right, Pat Hill, Gary has brought Fresno State to 7 straight bowl games. But Pat, you know very well, you lost the last 3 games of the season. How do you feel your team will respond, trying to bounce back and that losing streak today?
Well, you know, we got to realize that 13 out of 15 weeks we were a top 20 team. So I believe this team will rebound to the form it had. Those last 3 games were tough, but that's past us. We're playing forward.
Thanks a lot for your time.
All right, thanks.
All right, Rhino, we'll look forward to having you with us all afternoon long. Fresno State, they won the toss. They deferred. It's a beautiful day here this time of the year. 57 degrees. The wind really no factor. Only cloudy. No precipitation is expected. As Steve Cragthorpe, 40 years old in his 3rd year as head coach of the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, 2nd bowl appearance in 3 years. He's taken a Tulsa program that had won only 2 games in the previous 2 years to 2 8-win seasons. And it'll be Zimmerman kicking off to one of the most dangerous return men in the country, Ashland Davis, who has 6 kickoff returns for touchdowns, which ties the NCAA record. He's a senior out of Mesquite, Texas. Zimmerman, a non-scholarship guy, a walk-on, will kick off. Davis standing to the goal line, and the 47th annual Liberty Bowl is underway. Davis is not going to be able to field it. It'll go out of the back of the end zone for the touchback at the 20-yard line. Well, Paul Smith is the sophomore redshirt at quarterback. He's a coach's son. Parrish is a rusher who this year gained 724 yards. We've talked about Mills, Ramsey, McQuiller, and Moss is their fastest wide receiver, a junior college transfer. Up front, They have 2 all-conference players in Jesse Stoneham and Jeff Parrott. Dannenhauer, Hammerster Reese, along with Mengers, the starters up front for the Golden Hurricane, who will start from the 20-yard line. Paul Smith out of Oswego, Oklahoma, Owasso, Oklahoma, I should say. And now he's trying to scramble for his life as he gets up to the 20, to the 24 for a gain of 4 to bring up 2nd down and 6. This Fresno State defense is physical, big up front. There are 2 guys in the middle weigh 315 pounds, Shirley and Leonard. McIntyre, the WAC Defensive Player of the Year. Clutch led them in tackles for loss. Very good linebackers. Andrews is their bell cow. Sanchez, a former safety, now playing the linebacking spot. And they are very, very high on their 2 corners. They think they're the best in the conference, and Culver was a first-team all-WAC pick. 2nd down coming up. 4 wideouts. Handoff straight ahead. Not much doing on this play. That time, Urel Parrish was shut down by the forward wall, especially Alan Goodwin, the linebacker, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. There is Goodwin, junior out of Inglewood, California. This Fresno State team has size up front. They are a team this year that led the WAC in scoring defense. 3rd down, 5 yards to go from the 25. Smith will have in the backfield Parrish once again. Smith started all 12 games this year for the Golden Hurricane. Stepping up, dumps it. It's going to be close to the 1st down. The catch is made by Tulsa, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. He did not catch it. Charles Ramsey could not hang on, and they're going to have to punt it away. So Pat Hill's team able to get him on a 3 and out. Coming in will be Chris Kindred to punt the football for Tulsa. Adam Jennings will go back for Fresno State. Kindred this year averaged just over 37 yards a punt. Coming up on the fly will be Jennings. He backpedals, and he's going to be dropped inside the 40. Very good coverage that time by the Golden Hurricane. 33-yard punt, 6-yard loss. Offensively now, Pinegar looking for his 4th straight bowl win. Mathis, a 1,000-yard rusher. Rivera, just a utility guy, outstanding blocker. Williams is their go-to guy up front. There, Pasco, they think he's got a great future. And Jennings, a fleet-footed wide receiver. Up front, maybe the best coach offensive line in the country, according to Tulsa. Kyle Young, an all-conference performer. Pinegar 6'4", that's not easy to do. As now Pinegar on a 1st and 15, throws up the field, the catch is made across the 40. Paul Williams, their go-to guy, one of the best that Pat Hill says he's ever been around. That'll be a 22-yard gain, 1st down for the Bulldogs.
If you'll recall from watching Joe Willie Namath practice football, there it is, or play football, he was almost that low, not quite, but almost as low as that, because that's the way he liked to get the football secure. Bart Starr and John Unitas insisted on the hips of the center being up high. They wanted to stand up and be erect so they could see the coverage.
1st down after the 22-yard pickup on the play, and the bouncing it outside will be Fresno State. And this is Wendell Mathis, and Mathis inside the 20 to the 17, a gain of 18. And Mathis, 1,196 yards rushing this year.
Mathis doing a nice job, and there again, we see Bear Pasco, number 85, as the key blocker, pulling up inside on the power play.
Pat Hill's
nice
team.
Job.
I tell you, Pat Hill's team, Bill, has just gone right back to what they were doing earlier, playing some smash mouth football. As they have the ball now inside the 20-yard line, no score. Inside 3 minutes to go here in this 1st quarter. It's Mathis again. Mathis able to chug inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Nick Graham there to make the stop. So with Bill Curry and Dave Ryan, I'm Gary Bender, and welcome to the 47th annual AutoZone Liberty Bowl from Memphis. No score. You can see Fresno State, their 7th straight bowl game, trying to win their 4th in a row, and Tulsa, their 2nd trip in the last 3 years, their 1st year in Conference USA, and they are the conference champions. 2nd down now, 3 yards to go. Tell you what, there's not a lot of finesse to this Fresno State team right now. I mean, they're just coming at them. And here they go again. It's Mathis diving forward close to the first down at the 10. 3rd down and a yard. One receiver split out. Pinegar to the outback. It's Rivera, and Rivera's got a 1st and goal as he takes it to the 7-yard line.
What Pat Hill is saying is Shaq, Popovich, Young, Wendell, Denman, you offensive linemen, Bear Pasco, the tight end, we're putting it right on your shoulders. We're going to hammer this football, and if we have to go for it on 3rd down, 4th down again and again, that's what we're going to do, and we're going to get back to our basic techniques. That's what he's up to.
Got their mojo back. You can see they've had a 1,000-yard rusher 10 of the last 12 seasons. 1st and goal at the 7. Handoff comes to Mathis. He walks in, and Fresno State strikes first. Wendell Mathis, that's his 15th rushing touchdown this year. That's the best in the WAC, and he was untouched.
Yeah, they're just having their way up front. Those names I just called with the O-line, they're in a swinging gate formation here, so we need to see if they're going to do something funny before we talk too much.
Kyle Zimmerman, who married about 4.5 months ago to his lovely wife, Kaylee, a non-scholarship guy, puts this one through the uprights, and Fresno State right now is dominating on the ground. Mathis 4 for 32 on the play and scoring this touchdown. So welcome back to the Liberty Bowl as Fresno State on that drive takes a 7-0 lead. And I tell you, Mathis could have walked in on this one, Bill. That side of the offensive line dominated.
Yeah, Shaq just comes off and gets a nice block here on Coleman. Boom. And it is a walk-in. Coleman could have responded a little bit better. Tulsa seems sluggish on defense. They're really getting knocked around, which thrills Pat Hill to no end, I assure you.
Well, they've been down in the red zone twice. One time on 4th and 2. They didn't convert, but they took it in this time. 15 touchdowns this year for Mathis. Thus far, Tulsa has 8 yards in total offense to 113 by Fresno State. And here is a guy who could turn it around in a hurry. Ever dangerous. 6 kickoff returns for touchdowns, tying the NCAA record. Here he comes on the fly. Davis to the 20, 25, and he'll be dropped there. 24-yard return. We're going to step aside. Fresno State thus far getting it their way, leading 7-0. Tulsa still looking to get something going. They've been 3 and out on 2 occasions. They have the ball across the 25-yard line. Smith will go from the shotgun and trying to connect with his All-American tight end Garrett Mills and cannot. The 2nd down 10. Tulsa still trying to get the football to All-American Mills. This throw is complete to Mills, and Mills makes the catch just short of the 35. He'll be a yard short of the first down. Dwayne Andrews, a junior middle linebacker, over to make the tackle.
Football is a game of angles and leverage. Mills understands that very well. He knows how to find the open area. See, he turns his shoulders. He uses his body to shield him from Dwayne Andrews. Andrews makes the tackle, but Mills comes up with the football. You might question him a little, Gary, about why he didn't get past that first down marker.
I'll tell you what, though, when Mills plays well, this team plays with confidence. We're coming to the end of the first quarter. Fresno State leading 7-0, pounding the ball. Garrett Mills trying to get his troops rolling. Tulsa in a catch-up posture as we go to quarter number 2. Capital One's presentation of ESPN Bowl Week continues, and right now a very big play for Tulsa. As we start the second quarter, they have a 3rd and 1. They have thus far not been able to get on track offensively, find themselves down 7-0. And just a moment ago, they got Mills involved. You can see how dominating Fresno State has been, Bill. Look at the time of possession.
Yeah, they need to keep this football for the obvious reason. They've got to keep that defense of theirs off the field more than they've been doing.
Paul Smith underneath center, and he'll give straight ahead, and they're going to get the first down. That is Urel Parrish, the senior, able to pound it forward. First down, and so Tulsa now trying to put some building blocks together as they have been early in this ball game pounded by the offense of Fresno State. First down now at the 37-yard line. This Tulsa team started the year 0-2. They lost to Minnesota, lost to Oklahoma, but Steve Kragthorpe said that was kind of a moment in the season at Oklahoma where they realized they could play with most teams. Back to throw is Smith, over the middle, up the field. Garrett Mills cannot come up with it at the 30-yard line. Mills almost got there.
The one thing you notice is that Mills is open. We talked in our open about the fact that Mills is not a normal body as a tight end. He's so fast. He runs right by Josh Shirley, who's supposed to have coverage. He's open deep for the touchdown. Had the ball been thrown accurately, at 6 points for Tulsa.
They had 3 tight ends on that last set. It'll bring up second down. Garrett Mills, 1,183 yards receiving this year. That is a record, an NCAA record for tight ends. He'll come out of the ball game. There's the number we're talking about. Double tight ends again. Quick pitch, near side, and bursting across is Terrion Adams, their fastest running back. And Adams, a redshirt freshman of Moore, Oklahoma, just gained 13 yards on the play.
They really love Terrion Adams' speed, and you and I watched him, Gary, in the tape in their championship game against Central Florida, and he's the guy that lights it up. Every time he comes out of the backfield, he explodes and looks like he may go the distance. Got a marvelous block there from 66 Mike Mingers, his left offensive tackle.
In the Conference USA Championship game, this guy Adams scored 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing and 1 receiving. Play action. Smith rolling out. He is able to complete this one to the 45, Ashland Davis. Boy, they'd love to get him in the open field. He gets to the 45, a gain of 4 on the play. Alan Goodwin over to make the tackle, the junior linebacker for Fresno State.
Speaking of the open field, I'm impressed with Fresno State's tackling in the open field. That was Josh Shirley, Alan Goodwin, who made a nice play to converge on the shifty Davis and get him on the ground.
Second down, 6. Fresno State brings an attitude on both sides of the ball. Tulsa, on the other hand, a team that has grown as the season's worn on, especially this quarterback, redshirt sophomore Paul Smith. Blitz coming. He throws the interception. No, it's trapped, incomplete. Dwayne Andrews, the middle linebacker, almost picked it off. The blitz from the backside by Richard Marshall messed up the timing on that play.
That's a corner blitz, and that's the kind of thing that a quarterback that's played as much as Paul Smith ought to be able to see. He's hit late right there. It's a legal hit by Richard Marshall, who's coming off the corner. Smith did not see him coming, and he forced the errant throw, which was right to Dwayne Andrews, just a little bit low, and Dwayne, by golly, looked like he might have caught that thing.
Well, they're going to rule it incomplete.
I guarantee you he's going to tell everybody, Coach, I had that thing.
Third down and 6. You can see in the last 3 games, Smith has done an outstanding job of managing the football game. Smith scrambling up, running to the 40, lowers his head, and he got the first down. Smith, excellent job scrambling, got the first down. Bill, let's go back to that last play. Maybe Andrews did pick this up.
Well, we've got a pretty good angle. The ball may have touched the ground just as he scooped it, but it looked to me like he got his hand under it, and I'm surprised, frankly, that we didn't get a replay. It was not a very good throw. Yeah, it touched the ground. Okay, nice job by the officials. We finally got an angle so we could see that the point of the ball was in the grass by the time Andrews came up with it.
First down now for Tulsa. Again, the officials from the SEC. In motion, they send Idris Moss, Smith rolls up the field, completes it to Davis, and Davis, showing his quickness in the open field, gets to the 23. Gain of 15 on the play, and Davis, in the early going, has been their go-to guy.
Paul Smith showing his ability to move in the pocket. We talked about Pinegar. Paul Smith always makes the first man miss, according to his coach, Charlie Stubbs, who's done a marvelous job with this offense this year. Paul Smith, a coach's kid, so he understands the basics of football. When he lunged a minute ago, he did it for the first down. He moves well in and out of the pocket.
We have talked about how fundamentally sound he is. 10th play of the drive coming up now for Tulsa. Handoff straight ahead to Parrish. He's going to take it all the way. And Tulsa has come back in this game 22 yards for the touchdown. 9th rushing touchdown of the year for Parrish.
What a great job up front. And as surely as Pat Hill was thrilled with his offense moving the ball down the field almost at will, he's certainly not pleased with his defense being loosened up by Smith's throwing and then hammered for the long run.
Brad DeVault to attempt the point after the senior out of Tulsa. He's 45 of 47 in PATs, and he gets this one. And we're tied at 7. What a burst that time by Parrish. 22 yards out.
Great job up front by Hamister Reese, number 67, for the 7-7 tie in the Liberty Bowl.
We're tied at 7, so Tulsa, after early having a lot of problems getting their offense rolling, just marched that ball 74 yards in 10 plays. Parrish scoring from 22 yards out. DeVault will kick off now for the Golden Hurricane. 12:33 left to go in this first half. Jennings and Marshall back deep. Line drive, and they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. So first down now. Fresno State trying to regroup now after having this game tied up. Pinegar, the quarterback, play action, and he dumps it to his tight end again. That's Pasco. He's been one of his favorite receivers. Nick Bunning over to make the tackle. Bunning, the junior out of Tulsa, who was their bell cow. And number 41, an all-WAC performer 2 years, and this year the third team All-Conference USA. Second. Third down, a yard to go, and Mathis trying to get the first down, and he's not going to get it. Tulsa stiffens. Roy Roberts was over there. He is a freshman. Chad Evans, also the defensive end. There's Evans, and along with Latu, also on the play.
Very, very important, Gary, and anybody with a brain can see this. They've got 2 stops now in critical situations, 1 4th down. Here's the 3rd down stop. You see Roberts coming off the edge, boom, deep in the backfield, and got Fresno stopped again. That is demoralizing. That makes you start to doubt yourself just a little bit. That's been Fresno's problem.
You see Davis back. Mike Lingua will punt away. He's a junior out of Canyon Country, California. High snap, takes his time. Coming up is Davis. He's going to let it hit. Not a good punt, but it does take a Fresno State bounce, a big bounce. Look at this roll, all the way to the 21-yard line. So Lingua got a real nice roll. That ends up being a 51-yard punt. We're tied at 7 in the second quarter. Beautiful day on the final day of 2005, and you wonder, Bill, what the mojo is of Fresno State right now as they come out in a quick snap to Terrion Adams, and they tried to catch him napping on the play. Adams did not get much on the yardage. Good play that time by Tyrone Culver, the safety, and Emmanuel Sanchez. But to go back to Fresno State, Bill, they've lost 3 in a row. They've had 2 short yardage plays where they were stoned. You wonder how they're responding right now.
Well, I'll guarantee you that the ire is creeping up Pat Hill's throat because he makes his living off those situations. You get down there 4th and short near the goal line, you hammer it in. 3rd and short in the middle of the field, you make the first down. He is going to be in his guys' face all day long to make them convert those situations better.
A gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Keppel, Landon Keppel goes in motion now for Tulsa. Back to throw Smith, double pumps, and he makes a connection to the man we were just talking about, Keppel. Keppel, whose dad is a Tulsa assistant, former high school quarterback. Haji Lane over to make the tackle for Fresno State. That'll bring up a 3rd down and still 4 yards to go.
But hey, Gary, on the Beach Boy thing, but what you mean, your era was Glenn Miller and Al Jolson.
Wait a minute.
I mean,
you know what, Bill? You and I have been
Boys.
friends all year long. Why destroy it right now? I mean,
well, I just think we ought to be completely honest about things here.
I tell you what, I'll start singing the Beach Boys stuff for you to convince you of that later.
No, that's okay. We'll let them do that.
Okay. We'll have part of that at halftime. 3rd down and 4 now. Smith trying to keep this drive going for the Golden Hurricane, and he does. The completion across the 35 to the 36, and that's the All-American Garrett Mills. And again, when he plays well, this football team just takes a step forward. They go up another notch.
Well, the thing about Garrett Mills is that he always plays well. Now, we saw him go deep and get behind the defense, behind the free safety. Now we see him settle into a zone. This is the 2nd time he finds the open spot. The throw's not particularly good. That doesn't matter because a big man comes down with it.
Boy, he does. He had 8 catches, 152 yards in the last game. Handoff straight ahead. Terrion Adams, he's gone. The redshirt freshman will score. And Tulsa's got the lead for the first time, 63 yards. Wow.
Wow is right, Gary. That is not what was expected coming into this football game by anybody. I would think, dare say, even Tulsa didn't expect this. Pat Hill is stunned.
That is not his longest run. Adams had a 64-yard run against Memphis earlier this year. Now with 8 touchdowns on the year, Tulsa up 13-7. Point after attempt by Brad DeVault. And this game, after going all Fresno State early, has turned as Craig Thorpe and his troops with 14 points in a row out of the 14-7 lead here at the 47th annual AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Adams is gone. All of a sudden, Tulsa has exploded for 144 yards in the 2nd quarter. And Terrion Adams went 63 yards a moment ago. As we mentioned, not his longest run. He had a 64-yarder earlier this year against Memphis. And obviously, as you would expect, both of them were touchdowns. And Fresno State right now has got to be wondering what in the world has hit us.
Well, I'll tell you what they're doing. They're reverting to the form of their previous 2 performances against Nevada and Louisiana Tech that so disturbed Pat Hill and his coaching staff. They're being knocked around. They're being handled by this Tulsa football team.
Brad DeVault will kick off now for the Golden Hurricane. Adam Jennings is back. It's going to be Jennings. He'll bring it out to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 21-yard line, and Fresno State trying to regroup. Nick Graham was down there to make the tackle.
This is best on best now. Jesse Stoneham lined up right here. He's the best offensive lineman for Tulsa on Garrett McIntyre, number 71, and it's nothing but a whooping. He just drives him down inside, opens a gaping hole that allows the fleet back to explode, and Adams runs away from the secondary, and he should have run it into the end zone full speed. He will learn from his coaches not to slow down at the 6-yard line.
Rivera is coming in at running back. Pinegar from the gun. Scrambling out of the pocket. He's going to run with it. Gets to the 40 and takes a big hit, but that'll be a 1st down on a 2nd and 8. Germany eventually was able to intercede, but a 10-yard pickup. And Pinegar really not known for his rushing. He's carried the ball 43 times for only 32 yards. Did a nice ad-lib effort there.
Yeah, he pulled that ball down and showed his 5 flat right out there, and Germany had a few words for him, which certainly didn't bother Mr. Pinegar at all.
1st down now at the 28 of Tulsa. Williams comes in motion, and straight ahead this time is Sumlin. Sumlin to the 25 and stopped there. That's Chad Evans, who went to Booker T. Washington High School in Tulsa, transferred from the University of Colorado, there to make the stop. So Pinegar looks to the sideline. They have all 3 of their timeouts left. It's 2nd down and 7 as we have 1:39 left in the first half.
Well, Pat would love to bludgeon this ball into the end zone, but I think he's going to have to throw it in order to get it in there. And he'd rather have the touchdown than to prove his point of running the football.
2nd down, 7. Williams will go in motion once again. Pinegar to Sumlin. Sumlin across the 20. Sumlin will go in. Touchdown, Fresno State, 25 yards. And he just ran through a couple of tackles en route. Blacksher and Alexander were the 2 Golden Hurricanes who could not stop him as he marched into the end zone.
And a really good job of blocking by Kyle Richard there, the fullback, on Chris Chamberlain. We talked about Chris earlier. He had the cramp, and I was wrong. They did run the ball in, and they did it entirely too easily if you're a Tulsa coach.
So Fresno State now the chance to tie this game up. Kyle Zimmerman to add the point after, out of the hold of Jordan Christensen. And Cunningham's kick is going to tie it. We're tied at 14 as Sumlin, who's been a strong goal line runner, able to take this one in, running through tackles. Boy, what a spectacular day, this final day of 2005. We're tied at 14, a seesaw battle. Both teams counter-punching each other. Last drive, Sumlin scoring from 25 yards out. And that drive was a 79-yard drive, 14 plays, took over 7 minutes, and you can see Pinegar was very effective.
Yeah, Pinegar was effective, but I was very surprised they were able to spring the long run for the touchdown, the 22-yarder by Sumlin, because there's always a free safety. You think that there's going to be a hit back there by Bobby Klink, and somehow they didn't come up with the hit.
This is Zimmerman kicking off now. He's been the kicker the last 7 games after an injury to their regular kicker earlier. Ashland Davis comes up on the fly. Nope, it's going to be Garrett Mills. Mills took it away from him. 2nd down now and 9 yards to go. 4 wideouts, 2 timeouts left for Fresno State. Tulsa has all 3 of theirs. Smith is back to throw, throws it, and the catch is made very close to the first down. That's Garrett Mills. Boy, is he fun to watch. Out of Jinx, Oklahoma. 11-yard pickup, first down.
And we were critical of Garrett a few minutes ago when he did not get to the first down marker. This time he was beyond it when he caught that football. Very good judgment and field presence and understanding by the veteran tight end.
Davis will come in motion. Paul Smith going to hit Davis. Davis going to get out of bounds. He'll stop the clock as he gets close to another first down to the 50-yard line. Pickup of 10 on the play, stops the clock with 38 seconds left in the first half.
You watch Paul Smith play in a setting like this, it's hard to believe that he's just a first-year starter until you consider the fact that he's a coach's kid and he's been doing this a long, long time. I was with his brother James when we checked into our hotel the other day, and I said, James, he's been coached pretty well by your dad. He said he's been coached all his life, whether he liked it or not.
All-time leading passing yardage leader in Oklahoma high school history. First down now. Smith going to go on a quarterback draw. And he's going to get across the 45 to the 43-yard line. Clock now will run till 30 seconds, and a timeout will be called as Tulsa now will use the timeout. With Dave Ryan and Bill Curry, I'm Gary Bender. The 47th annual AutoZone Liberty Bowl from Memphis. We're tied at 14. Early, it was Fresno State up 7-0. Tulsa led 14-7. Now deadlocked. Tulsa with 2 timeouts left. They have a 2nd down, 4 yards to go. They have the ball at the Fresno State 44-yard line. 3 wideouts on the play. Smith on a handoff straight ahead and trying to cross him up. They get the first down as bursting forward that time to pick up the first down is Urel Parrish. It was Sanchez on the tackle. That'll stop the clock momentarily as they move the sticks. They're going without a huddle. The Beach Boys at halftime. Back to throw is Smith again. Again, having to buy some time. He gets a completion to Parrish, the tailback. Parrish is able to get inside the 25. Another first down with 5 seconds left. A 10-yard pickup on the play. Marshall there to make the tackle. And so Brad DeVault, who this year has hit 17 of 20 field goal attempts, with 5 seconds left now as they use the timeout, will get a shot at a field goal.
And Gary, I haven't seen this kind of number in a long time. He's 6 for 6 beyond 40 yards. So that augurs well for this one, which is going to be just a little past 40.
This guy is this year 8 points shy of tying Tulsa's all-time scoring leader, as he has 273 points at the start of the day. Of course, he's kicked a couple of PATs. He was a semifinalist for the Lou Groza Award, which is emblematic of the best kicker in the country. And out of Sapulpa, Tulsa area, he will attempt now to give Tulsa the lead again with 5 seconds left in this first half of play.
Let me add something here. This guy's accurate, but he's on the right hash, which is the toughest angle for a right-footed kicker. 41-yarder.
41-yard attempt. His career long 52 yards against Oklahoma this year. And the kick is on the way, and the kick is good. And Tulsa takes the lead into the dressing room. So DeVault, who had to wait a long time to kick it, able to hit it from 41 yards out. And what an interesting first half, Bill.
Well, I think so. And as you've said several times, Fresno came out and looked like they were going to dominate. But this is a gritty Tulsa team who fought their way back and took the lead as they go into the locker room.
So DeVault able to convert his 18th field goal of the year. And Tulsa with a 17-14 lead. And let's go down to the sideline. Here's Dave Ryan.
All right, Coach Cragthorpe, how big the Brad DeVault field goal for you at the end of the half?
Well, it was big. It was a big drive for us. You know, a little bit over a minute left, and we utilized our timeouts and got the ball down the field and got points on the board. So obviously it gives us a little lead, but this thing's far from over. It's a heck of a football game.
We thought we might see Garrett Mills catching a lot of passes, but your run game, particularly long runs, successful for you in the first half. How would you evaluate your run game?
Well, I think we're running the ball well. We're doing some things to complement our passing game, and you know, we want to be multidimensional on offense. If they want to take away Garrett Mills, we'll run the football.
Thanks a lot for your time.
Appreciate it.
All right, Rhino, thank you. Let's go to the Dodge halftime report. Here's Reese Davis, Lou Holtz, and Mark May. Bill, we've had a momentum shift. Early in the game, it was Fresno State, and then Tulsa came back.
Tulsa came back very strong, and I thought Cragthorpe's remark at the end of the half was telling. He said, if they're going to take our tight end, Garrett Mills, away from us, we're going to run the football. I think we'll see that, and I think we'll see Mills deep again because he was deep and open early.
All right, we're ready to go now. The second half, as ready to kick off, will be Tulsa. Fresno State is back deep. DeVault kicking off. It'll be Jennings. He'll bring it out to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and still on his feet to the 40, to the 43. Let's go back now in the first quarter. It was early. They pounded the ball. Taking it in from outside was Parrish, cracking it in for the touchdown. And then they came right back to tie it up at 7. A power football, and then Terrion Adams went 63 yards. And Tulsa, all of a sudden, had the lead 14-7. Sumlin, the big burly tailback, scoots in from 22 yards out, and then DeVault added the field goal, and that's where we are right now. First down at the 41. Pinegar gives up, running wide is Mathis. Mathis breaks a tackle to the 50, to the 40, reverses to the 45, and dropped at the 34-yard line. Nick Graham, a 24-yard run. Let's go to Dave Ryan.
All right, Garrett, good start for Fresno State. Pat Hill's team with a run game. That's what he told me a few moments ago. They're going to try to pound the ball as much as they can in this second half on the ground, try to dominate TOP, time of possession. Eventually said, hey, 2 missed plays on 2 dive plays. Tulsa score on long touchdown runs. Gap cancellation on our defensive front. We make those adjustments. We'll be okay. He appeared pretty pleased with his team's first 30 minutes.
Well, in the way they start the second half, that kickoff return was huge, and now the first down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Mathis in the backfield. Pinegar play action, throwing up the field. Jennings down there, broken up. Almost made the connection that time. as Julian McGovern on a good one-on-one coverage on Adam Jennings, able to bat it away.
Gary, time of possession in the first half, 20 minutes for Fresno. Nice throw by Pinegar here. McGowan down there in excellent coverage. A nice play. No pass interference. Did not wrap him up. Didn't put his arm around his back. Adam Jennings almost coming down with it with those sticky hands of his. McGowan,
a junior college transfer. They talk about the fact he was a godsend. They had nobody to play that position. Coming over from Pearl River Community College in Mississippi. Second down 10 now inside the 35-yard line. Pinegar, time to throw. And he is on target across the 20 to the 15-yard line. And it's Fairman again. 19-yard pickup on the play. You can see in that first half, the numbers are not that much different. It's just that they were in different quarters. Both teams having their own quarter, so to speak, but look at the time of possession. Look at the third down 4 now for the Bulldogs. Pinegar, and nothing doing on the play. Mathis is shut down. Anthony Germany, we've called his name a lot.
And that's his 15th and a half tackle for loss this year. His specialty is coming off the edge. Joe Lee Dunn, the originator of the 3-3-5 defense, made his living with this for a long time. People didn't understand, and it's still difficult to shut down those strong safety-type athletes that come in off the corner and make hits in the backfield. A nice play by Germany.
This will be a 27-yard field goal attempt by Kyle Zimmerman. Zimmerman's kick is on the way, and Zimmerman has tied it up. We're tied at 17, 11:51 to go. Pat Hill's team off to an impressive start in the second half. We're ready to go now. Fresno State has deadlocked this at 17. Zimmerman, who just kicked a 27-yard field goal, will kick off to Ashland Davis and Donnie Johnson. A very short kick goes out of bounds, and they'll bring that out to the 35-yard line if it was not touched by Fresno State. From the 35-yard line now, Tulsa will have it. And they're going to give it an end around to Terrian Adams, their speedster, at a 63-yard run in the first half. This time got a yard, and that's all. Josh Shirley over to make the tackle. He's a guy they think next year is going to be an all-conference performer. He is a junior out of Bakersfield, and that'll bring up second down. Give him a couple yards. Second down and 8 yards to go. Shirley, an all-WAC candidate, they think, next year. Big hitter, as you saw there. Tulsa tied up at 17. They led at halftime after the field goal at the end of the first half, only to see Fresno State respond. Had a very entertaining football game here at the Liberty Bowl. 4 wideouts on this particular play. Smith double pumping, sets up the screen. He completes it, and across the 40 comes Urel Parrish, and Parrish will get to the 42. It'll bring up a third down and still 3 yards to go. Dave Smith does a great job, Bill, feet-wise. I mean, he really shows you fundamentals. He's always seemingly under control, surveying the field. I'm really impressed with this fundamental play.
Yeah, and there's no surprise in that. He's 10 out of 15 for 84 yards, and he's been coached since he was 6 years old by a dad that understands football. So he came into the program with an understanding of the basics. He doesn't have to think about those things.
2 wideouts to the near side. Ashland Davis will come in motion. Smith's going to dump it over to Parrish. He makes the catch across the 40 to the 42, but that's going to bring up a 4th down. Fresno State did a good job that time. Richard Marshall, boy, we've called his name a lot from that cornerback spot.
We've got him for 4 tackles unofficially, and I continue to be impressed with the open field tackling of Fresno. And here's a corner, Richard Marshall, the leading tackler for Fresno State with 71 hits this year. That is strong medicine for a corner.
Hunting away now will be Kindred, and they're going to fake it. They fake it, and it does not work. Tulsa going for the fake, and it did not work. Very interesting call by the Hurricane. Paul Williams was there he was one of the guys who was going to hold up the guys going down the field, and Tulsa gambled, and it did not pay off.
Well, here's the guy that's your big playmaker offensively, and he makes a big play on defense. Great job by Williams.
And so Fresno State with excellent field position when we come back. So with 4:41 left in the third, the Bulldogs will come out now. Williams split to the top of the field. Sun starting to set behind the press box here at the Liberty Bowl. What a gorgeous day this is for football. Pinegar back, got time, now scrambling, and he's going to be cut down at the 30. That was Brandon Lohr who got over and chopped him down. Second down now, 8 yards to go. Pinegar going far side, and he is not on the same page with Paul Williams. Williams pulled up short. Pinegar threw long, and it's going to be third down.
Todd Graham, the defensive coordinator for Tulsa, really mixing his coverages now. He rushed with 3 and dropped 8 on first down. Second down, he came with 4, and he played a man free, and there was a miscommunication, as you mentioned, Gary. And that time, Pinegar and Williams did not hook up and read the coverage properly.
Todd Graham exhorting his troops defensively. Third down, 8 yards to go. 6 defensive backs in on this play. Pinegar has 4 wideouts. The senior back, and he makes the completion for the first down. 12-yard pickup. That's Fairman again, and Fairman has been big today. Fairman is listed as their 3rd wide receiver, but he has been huge in this game. First down out to the 42-yard line. Boy, Pinegar does have a pocket presence, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. And what see, he had 2 consecutive plays that didn't go well. I always judge quarterbacks by how they do after there's a mistake. What do they do after something bad happens? What he does is make first downs.
You could see Fairman with 4 catches. He had at the start of the day 20 the entire season. And the handoff goes to Mathis. Mathis to the 45. It'll bring up a second down. And so let's catch up. We are at the 47th annual AutoZone Liberty Bowl. And the Fresno State Bulldogs trying to give Paul Pinegar his 4th straight bowl win, which has never been accomplished in NCAA history. We are tied at 17. Fresno State had the lead early, 7-0. Then Tulsa 14-7. Tulsa then at halftime able to take the lead of 17-14. Deadlock now with field goals here in the second half. 2nd and 7. Mathis bouncing outside, and Tulsa responds, and they slam him down for no gain on the play. That's Nelson Coleman again. Coleman, that middle linebacker. That is 10 tackles for Coleman, the sophomore out of Dallas. This guy is a quarterback of the defense. He's had a tremendous season, and we're talking about he has the ability to be in the right place at the right time, and we've seen it throughout the game.
We have, and during warm-ups, I went down and stood next to him. He looks like an NFL middle linebacker. He just flows to the football. Look at him. Big, strong, agile.
3rd down and 7 now for the Bulldogs. And we're going to have a flag, a penalty flag, thrown at the line of scrimmage, stopping everything momentarily.
Dead ball. Encroachment on the offense. Number 1 was lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Here we go. 3rd down and 12 after the 5-yard penalty. 4 wideouts. Blitz is coming. Pinegar setting up a screen over the middle. He got it completed to Rivera, and Rivera all the way out to the 40-yard line. That was a beautiful call under the circumstances because they had everybody back there. That ends up being a 20-yard gain.
Many, many times you'll see a screen in a blitz situation that does not operate well, but Pinegar plays it perfectly because the ball's not tipped. The lineman that's out there in coverage who should have been there was 96, Walter Boyd. He's a freshman nose guard, and his job was to get out to the screen, and he wasn't quite quick enough. That's what happens when you're a freshman.
Boy, they had the perfect play called on that particular blitz. First down now, sets it up just outside the 40 of Tulsa. Sumlin's in the backfield. It's going to be a pitch back to Pinegar, but he's going to have to fall on it. A little gadget play, if you will, the hook and ladder. But Sumlin did not get the ball back to Pinegar.
Yeah, it's an old flea flicker deal, and Sumlin's job is simply to humble the ball gently to the quarterback about belt high, and he's 6. Sumlin got up and hit himself in the head, and Pat Hill might like to do the same thing because the pitch is a sort of a spinner off to the side. It would have been a tough catch for Pinegar, and that's not what he's counting on.
That was wide right, wasn't it, Bill, all the way?
That was wide right, and now it's 2nd and 20.
2nd and 20, so a little gadget play does not work for the Fresno State Bulldogs. 45 seconds left here in the 3rd. Blitz coming again. Pinegar up top. Williams is there, and broken up by McGowan. That ball looked like Williams would be able to come back to it. We watched on tape on several games where Williams will do that, come back on a short ball, but this time McGowan was able to defend it very well.
Nice job of pass protection. The ball was put up, and I think you're right. He made Gary intentionally throw this ball just a little bit short, counting on his man Williams to come back for it. But McGowan is really in perfect position. When you get that receiver on your hip and you kind of slow down and force him to bump into you, then he has a hard time adjusting his body to catch the football.
3rd down, 20 yards to go, 4 wideouts again. Pinegar now is starting to really open up this offense. Got the pocket presence again, up the middle. Williams, did he catch it? He did. A remarkable catch by Paul Williams. 20-yard grab, and he caught that in double coverage, able to pull it down between Roberts and Alexander.
Watch the route by Williams, and this is the worst decision that Pinegar's made all day long because you don't make this throw. He's running right into double coverage. The safety's coming off the hash. The corner's trailing. They're right in position to make the play, and that's something you come off of. Not so here. Pinegar has enough confidence in his arm and in his receiver that he just zips it in there anyhow.
Williams, the all-WAC performer, had 40 catches for 7 touchdowns at the start of the day. Big grab there to the 30-yard line. First down, handoff to Sumlin, spins once and gets to the 25-yard line, a gain of 5. And so we have come to the end of this 3rd quarter. We're deadlocked at the Liberty Bowl. We're tied at 17. The Liberty Bowl, we've played 3 quarters. You can see Fresno State jumped on top, and then Tulsa came roaring back in the 2nd quarter. And then Fresno State able to tie it up. And now the Bulldogs with the football as we start this 4th quarter, 2nd and 5. They have it at the 25-yard line of Tulsa. Hand off to Mathis. Mathis able to move the pile, gets it to the 21-yard line. And Kendrick Alexander, who had not played all year long because he was academically ineligible, a junior out of Plano, Texas, there to make the tackle. They were glad to have him back because Alexander is a big-time player. It'll bring up 3rd down now, 2 yards to go.
Alexander is not only a big-time player, but he's their leading tackler in the 03 season with 121 tackles. And he is such an imposing figure coming up from the safety position. He sort of strikes fear in the heart of opponents.
They called him a monster. Even his teammates called him that.
Yeah, they did.
3rd down, 2 yards to go. In motion comes Sumlin. Pinegar looking this way. Complete. Touchdown. Sumlin taking it in. Check that. Fernandez. Joe Fernandez from 21 yards out. As Julian McGowan trying to defend on the play, and Fernandez, who's been very quiet today, comes up with a grab that gives them a 23-17 lead. Point after attempt coming up now. Zimmerman, who was really dismayed moments ago after missing a field goal attempt this point after. And the kick is on the way, and this kick is good. 24-17, Joe Fernandez, the son of Mervyn, who played for the Oakland Raiders. And with him, his 8th touchdown catch of the year. Happy New Year, everybody, from the Liberty Bowl. What a game we have here. Fresno State has retaken the lead 24-17. Zimmerman will kick off as you look back at this throw to Joe Fernandez.
Yeah, Fernandez gets inside of the corner, Julian McGowan, who's had a nice day today, but he had man coverage across the board. You cannot let the receiver inside. Cannot let him in there.
Fernandez now has 4 touchdown catches in the last 4 games. He's really come on well. You can see that drive of 72 yards. Kickoff. Ashland Davis is going to elect to bring it out to the 15, to the 20, and boy, is he belted there. At the 20-yard line, Tulsa will set it up, and that was McCulley. They have had a very good football game here today. They've hosted fame programs like USC, Penn State, Alabama. The Bear has been here. Lou Holtz, John McKay, a couple of Heisman Trophy candidates, Doug Flutie and Bo Jackson. And today, a very entertaining game as a handoff is going to be given to Parrish, and Parrish for Tulsa picks up a first down to the 45, 13-yard gain. We were talking about the Bear. This was his final game against Illinois in 1982. He passed away shortly after this, and he visited with Mike White after the game. I never could understand a lot of what he said, Coach. I don't know. You have to be from the South. I don't know. Back to throw is Smith now. Rolling around, throwing up, wide open. Touchdown grab is made by Ashland Davis. 54 yards. That's his 5th touchdown catch of the season.
Ashland Davis beat Tyrone Culver, number 36, who was completely fooled on the play. And of course, Smith located his fleet receiver and made the perfect throw to take it in the end zone. How many times, Gary, have you seen one like that sail over the receiver's head when he's that wide open?
Not this guy. Smith with his 20th touchdown toss of the year. And this is for the tie. And it's drilled through by the vote. And we are tied at 24. And just like that, Tulsa strikes. Davis coming up with a touchdown grab. Huge play. He had his speed. He got behind him, and there was nobody going to catch him. So Steve Cragthorpe, who last year's team went 4-8. They lost a couple of overtime games. Had a lot of turnover problems. They had a -10 turnovers a year ago. This year a +18. Look at it again, Bill.
Well, I think Garrett Mills is pulling people inside, but absolutely the free safety Tyrone Culver has that play. His rule in 3 deep coverage or man free, and I believe this is 3 deep, though we don't have an all-22 shot. His rule is to stay deeper than the deepest, and he doesn't even see Davis until it's too late. Number 36, Tyrone Culver.
Wow.
Trailing the play by 6 or 8 yards.
And so the kickoff is going to be short to the near side. Up back is going to bring it out. That's Richard Marshall, who's a defensive back now on the return team. Brings it out to the 38. So we're glad you're with us. We've had a terrific football game. We're tied at 24. 9:40 left to go. With Coach Bill Curry and Dave Ryan, I'm Gary Bender. And Pinegar still seeking that NCAA record. 4th bowl win in a row. Nobody has ever done it. He's trying to accomplish that now. Tulsa's last bowl, the 91 Freedom Bowl. Back for their 2nd bowl appearance in 3 years. 3rd down, 6. 4 wideouts. Pinegar, blitz coming up the middle. They pick it up. And Pinegar cannot make the connection to Jennings, but the blitz was effective. I'm sure Pinegar had to feel the pressure coming up the middle that time.
Well, Nelson Coleman came up the middle, but Matt Rivera, number 30, did a great job of picking him up. There was no pressure. Pinegar missed exactly the same throw that he missed the previous series. Exactly the same throw to the same guy. Adam Jennings is open. He runs his out cut easily for the first down. Paul Pinegar simply misfires. What Pat Hill was hoping for in that possession is that 35 minutes to 14 minute time of possession would have worn down the Tulsa defense, but Tulsa was inspired and stopped the runs.
Lingua the last time punted this ball 15 yards. He'll punt again. Big rush put on. He hits this one much better. Davis calling for the fair catch, makes it at the 21-yard line. Tulsa with a football. 37-yard punt. Deadlocked at 24. Inside, 9 minutes to go. First down now at the 48. End around fake by Smith. Setting up the screen. He's got it. He's got it to his All-American. And as make that Terrian Adams. It's Adams on the receiving end. And he's going to bring it up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 15 on the play. This is beautifully done as the fake carried off well. We talked about turnover margin. You can see how effective Tulsa has been this year. I mean, last year they were a -10, Bill.
They were, and they've just been sensational. Whereas Fresno was -3 in the turnover margin this year, and that's not what you want on the negative side. And yet, turnover margin today favors Fresno, with Tulsa having been the only turnover team.
There is no foul on the play. The ball was caught behind the line of scrimmage. Legal play, first out.
So they pick up the flag and the gain then to Adams, and they've got a first down across the 40.
You throw the flag if you see a lineman blocking downfield on a pass, and then you determine with the other officials whether or not the ball was thrown behind the line of scrimmage or beyond it. That ball was a screen thrown behind the line of scrimmage, which means it was legal for people like Stoneham and Parrott to be down there blocking.
And boy, those are a couple of loads, those two big guys, over 315 pounds. First down now. Adams able to skip close to the 35-yard line. So it's going to bring up now 2nd down and 9, a gain of a yard on the last play by Adams. Moss comes in motion. Smith being flushed out, scrambles nicely. Smith gonna pump and then run. A nice ad-lib effort inside the 30 to the 29. I mean, Smith showed some quick feet there. Sanchez eventually caught up. Pressure was coming from Alan Goodwin, and Smith able to ad-lib and get some yardage, some big yardage on the play.
Yep, the pressure's there right now. Alan Goodwin clean, a missed blitz pickup. And that's the responsibility of the quarterback in the center. You have to see those things. You have to get enough blockers, slide the protection in the correct direction. That did not happen. Excellent defensive call. Nice work by Dan Brown, defensive coordinator for Fresno.
I think Smith's a little shaken up after that play. They're going to call a timeout as we have a flag also at the 31-yard line. But Smith took a pretty good shot. You can see he's bent over on the sideline.
We have a timeout by Tulsa. That is their first charge timeout.
As they had a warning, sideline warning there. Players starting to get onto the field. But Smith did a remarkable job scrambling to bring up a 3rd and 2. But I also think, Bill, he was a little bit shaken up on that play. And so they elected to use a timeout. Let's watch it again.
That's an amazing elusive ability. He looks like a great point guard going by the double coverage. And it looks like, and yeah, what Cragthorpe's arguing is that he was hit while on the ground by Dwayne Andrews, number 51.
3rd down and 2 now for Tulsa. Smith on a roll. Throws it to Davis. Got the first down to the 20. Davis knocked out of bounds. Had he been at a better angle, he might have gone a lot further. Marshall interceded. That is a 12-yard pickup on the play. A big 3rd and 2 conversion for Tulsa.
3rd or 4th time we've seen that action. And, of course, the coaches for Tulsa, Charlie Stubbs, knows that even though Davis hadn't made big plays here, he's made a few yards each time, so they keep that in their arsenal. Come back with it on 3rd and 2 and made a key first down. Bear in mind, having a great field goal kicker like Brad Duvall really affects play calling down here, because if they can run the clock down and run most of the time off of it, they can kick the football, and it's almost as valuable as a touchdown.
That touchdown that you saw in the graphic was a 54-yarder. Handoff to Adams. Adams tries to go forward, nothing doing. Dwayne Andrews, a middle linebacker, to make the stop. So we have 4 minutes, 51 seconds left to go. We have a 2nd down, 9 yards to go. We're tied at 24 between Tulsa and Fresno State. Happy New Year from Dave Ryan, Bill Curry, and myself. Our producer, Sarge Carter, Steve Turnberger, our director. Thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure. And also our booth here of Ken Trevor, Kim Anderson, and Kirk McCarlin. All these guys do such a great job for us. Second down now, 10 yards virtually to go. Make it a long 9. Smith is going to dump it again. Near side, Adams. Adams breaks the tackle. 5, dives inside. First and goal for Tulsa. Culver on the tackle. 14-yard pickup on the play.
This is pure individual effort. We talked earlier in the broadcast about Terry and Adams being the big play guy on this offensive team. True freshman just running through people, dragging them, dragging Tyrone Culver, who's had a tough day. Tough day for Tyrone. He's dragged down to the 3.5-yard line. Now, with today's offenses not being as polished at knocking the ball in the end zone, there's no guarantee that this is an easy touchdown.
First and goal at the 3-yard line. Mills comes in motion. Adams shut down. He may have lost a yard. Good reaction by that forward wall of Fresno State, in particular. Sanchez was there. Andrews was there as well. There was nothing doing on that play.
Let me elaborate on what I just said, Gary. Offenses don't get down in the 5-yard line area and work on goal line stuff as much as they used to. They should, but they do not. So that's why so often we see teams that get inside the red zone pretty often, but they don't score a lot of touchdowns. Tulsa is one of those. Their touchdowns inside the red zone only 48.5% of the time.
Second and goal now from the 4-yard line. Mills in motion again. Smith on a roll. He's going to go for the goal line. Diving. He's in. Touchdown, Tulsa.
And even with the score, yes, they got it in the end zone, but it was not a traditional line up in 2 tight ends and knock it in the end zone. It's a quarterback on the corner with the football, and the headed quarterback once again proved his mettle as Paul Smith took it in, his 6th TD rushing this year.
Is this kid tough or what?
Yes, he is.
I mean, he showed me some courage on that play. He went for it and took it in. And now it's a 30-24 lead in favor of Tulsa. Here is Smith, the sophomore, on the roll, looking for something. And he saw something, Bill, and took off.
Yeah, he had a chance. Alan Goodwin had a shot at him, number 10, and Ikenna Ike, number 41, who's now down. Apparently, he ran into Goodwin. The two of them collided, and you can see that Paul Smith's in pain, too.
Well, he was hurt a little bit earlier. I mean, This guy has taken some shots in this game, but right now he's got his team with the lead. Point after attempt is up by DeVault. We have a 7-point game, 2 minutes, 55 seconds left in what has proved to be a seesaw shootout here in Memphis, Tennessee. And so Pinegar now still trying to somehow keep alive the opportunity to be the first quarterback in NCAA history to win 4 straight bowl games. First, he's got to tie this game up. DeVault to kick off. Jennings and Marshall back deep for Fresno State. Very high kick. And it's going to go out of bounds. And that is not what Craig Thorpe had in mind. So here comes Pinegar. His final game at Fresno State, the senior from Woodland, California. You can see he is now over 10,000 yards in his career. At 84 touchdown tosses is a school record already. And Vanessa with Paul Francis Jr. From the 35, first down. 4 wideouts on the play. Pinegar with a lot of time, and he completes it. The catch is made out to the 50. That's Adam Jennings. That'll be a first down. Pick up a 15. Stops the clock with 2:48.
Again and again, you see the great quarterbacks come back from adversity. That's the very throw that had plagued Paul Pinegar the previous 3 drives. 2 missed passes, 2 missed third down conversions, 1 interception. They come right back with the same throw in the outcut, and he's perfect.
The good quarterbacks forget the bad plays, don't they?
They do.
From the midfield stripe now. First down. 4 wideouts again. Again, Fresno State has all 3 timeouts remaining. Pinegar throwing to the near side. The catch made at the 45. And in the open field is Fairman. Fairman has been a big part of their offense. Bobby Blackshire over to make the tackle. And it's going to be a pickup of 9 yards on the play.
Gary, you mentioned the ill-fated kickoff. You just don't want to let somebody like Pinegar and Fresno start at the 35-yard line. That just puts them in a spot. Look, they're already over the 50. They're in your territory.
You're playing on a short field as Pinegar now throws the near side, and he is now on fire. That completion to Fairman again. That's another first down to the 35, and they're at the 35, and there's still 2:11 left. I mean, they got there in a hurry.
They did, because they started from the 35. They only needed to make 30 yards to get here. Field position is so critical in the game of football. And again, you let a guy like Pinegar start where he wants to start, and he's going to take you down the field and make this thing very interesting.
You can see the timeout situation. Pat Hill, I'm sure, churning inside. His team with the first down at the 35. In motion now will go Fernandez. Pinegar looking his way, stepping up in the pocket. And it's intercepted. It's picked up by Nelson Coleman. He tried to finesse the ball over the middle, and Coleman, you talked about how athletic he is. He just came up with a huge pick.
They never came up with a bigger one than that. What an incredible play. What an incredible turn of events. Paul Pinegar, who's been in these situations so many times, trying to improvise, keep his team alive, and get the ball to Jerron Fairman, number 18. And look who's shadowing all the way. He's been sitting in there as a spy all day long. We got Coleman for 1 interception, obviously, 1 pressure, 12 tackles. He and Germany have got to be the players of the game for Tulsa if they end up winning this thing.
And that is Nelson's first interception of the year. As you mentioned, none bigger than that. First down now as Tulsa try to grind out the remaining time. As we now have 1:59, Fresno State will have to start using some timeouts. Clock still running at 1:53. Boy, Coleman out of Dallas. A guy who played only 1 year of varsity high school football said, I'm a late bloomer. Well, he has bloomed here today.
Well, Fresno should have called a timeout. My gosh, they're letting the clock run.
Well, they are.
It's unbelievable.
They have 3 timeouts left.
You've got to call that. You have to call that right after that play.
I don't understand, Bill. Second down and 8. They're coming after him. Smith going to roll out, and he's going to run to the 40. He's got a first down, and that'll do it. An 11-yard run. I don't think Smith was even thinking about a first down. He was trying to kill some time running around, and all of a sudden it opened up for him.
Well, it's a brilliant call by Charlie Stubbs, the outstanding offensive coordinator for Tulsa. But now they're still going to have to make another first down, Gary.
And now Fresno State has used a timeout. 4 wideouts. Smith trying to put the finishing touches on, gives it to Adams. Adams trying to run wide, and he's got across the 45. He's open to the 30 and reverses to the 28. Again, they were trying to kill some time, and Adams found a big gap and went 32 yards on the play.
Gary, looking back at the ebb and flow of this football game, you got to consider the fact that Pat Hill came in here to play smash mouth football. Tulsa said fine. Stoned him 4 times on 3rd and short and once on 4th and short. That was the difference in the football game. Each of those drives, Fresno came up with 0 points. So that's just what set the stage for this finish.
Very good point, Bill. And of course, Fresno's trying to get their personality back, their toughness. They could salvage the season with a win after losing their last 3, and now with 38 seconds left, they'll just go to a knee. Fresno can stop it one more time.
And even that hurt. when he took a knee that hurt. He went down on the sore knee.
Well, they're starting to celebrate as well they should. The clock put back into play. And I want to say this, Bill Curry, you are the best. You are a friend and a real pro. Thank you for this year.
Feelings mutual. Thank you so much, Gary.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Curry is one of the classiest people I've ever known.
Oh, my.
And now Tulsa is going to win this football game. And Steve Cragthorpe, this young 40-year-old coach, is now 21-17. 2 bowl wins in 3 years. Let's go down to Dave Ryan.
All right, with the player of the game, Paul Smith. How did you overcome the leg injury late to scramble for that first down?
Just dug deep. You know, guys on this team show character all year, and I just wanted to do my part.
What was it like to go out there and start your first bowl game and come through with a win?
Incredible, incredible. I can't really describe it right now, the old cliche. I bet it'll set in later, but right now, you know, I'm just ecstatic, you know, want to go celebrate with my teammates.
This is a very tight game, Paul. How did you maintain your composure in such a dramatic ball game?
I think, once again, the character of this team, we've been in a lot of situations. We've won big, we've lost close ones, we've won close ones, we've been to overtime. So we've been through everything, and we knew we just had to stay calm, even kill, respond to anything that threw at us. And Coach Stubbs and offensive line probably played the best game all year. So, you know, it's just great to see these guys.
Congratulations on Tulsa's first bowl win since '91.
Thank you, sir.
Gary.
All right, Rhino, Happy New Year to you. The final of this 2005 AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Tulsa 31, Fresno State 24. For Bill Curry, Dave Ryan, I'm Gary Bender. Let's go now to Dave Rebson in the college basketball studio.